Right, Cathy, little pep talk for you ordered from Sean, your husband. I hope he is actually your husband and not just some like weirdo just lying, being like, oh yeah, I'll get one for her down the road, you know, and I'll pretend I'm her husband. You know, to plant that seed. Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to plant that seed. Maybe he's flirting with you, Cathy. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is Sean's way of flirting with you. What's the weirdest thing, mate, about all of this order, is that he sent me a photograph of you, and you're the first customer that I've had on Cameo, at least, and on probably all over, really. You're the first customer where their husband has sent me a photograph of them, as in of you, which is weird, isn't it? Don't worry, you know, it's not a sultry photograph, you know, you're fully dressed in that. You seem to be in like quite a high up building, it looks like, and you can even see him in the background like this. Well, because you can see him reflected in the window, and he's all hunched and kind of squat, it looks like, in a waistcoat. So, you know, he obviously thinks a lot of you, wants to show you off or whatever for some reason, you know. It doesn't add anything to me, it doesn't help me at all. All he's told me is that you're Irish and you love rats, and that there's misspellings in it, but I presume it means you want to know how to get into taxidermy. So, what you're going to need, mate, show you the kit. Here's the kit. So you're going to need first things first is what you need a little trap, right? And what we do is we get the trap and we let's go down to the ground. Moving downstairs. So you get your trap, right? And you've got your trap there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to need a bit of bait. Now, for a bit of bait, let's say what you want, right, is you want to try and attract some boy ducklings, right, or maybe some lesbian ducklings over. So you get your bait there in the box. So you've baited your box there with your chick with a duck, and then what you need, very pivotal thing you need here, Cathy, is you need a mallet, right? Claw hammers will do. Toffee hammers are alright if you like getting up close, but you know, a rubber mallet, you can't go wrong with a rubber mallet. And then you just play the waiting game, Cathy. You just wait, right? And what you might want to wait like slightly to the side, and then what happens eventually is we're going to have to use our imaginations, Cathy. We're going to have to pretend that this next thing here is actually a male duckling, and so it comes over like this to inspect the box, and then it might try, and just as it's trying to get into the box, that's where you crack it over the head, Cathy, and then you smack its head in there with the rubber mallet that you've bought from Screwfix. You know, there's other places are available, maybe ITS, you know, get it delivered to the door. It doesn't matter where you get your mallet from. But now you've got your male duckling and you've caved its head in, you take that male duckling and you hide it. You hide it behind the back of this box, behind the trap, right? So the others can't see it. Because what happens with ducklings, Cathy? That's it, mate. They follow the mum and they walk in a line. Now, presuming that you've already had the mum, well, you have already had the mum in this situation, Cathy. 1 second. Here's the mum. You had her first, and you hit a bit too hard and really took the head off. So you learn from your mistakes, and then you wait for the next one, mate. The next one to come along, and the next one that comes along, we have to use our imaginations again, Cathy. The next one that comes along is another male duckling, and he's looking inside. And you're like, good, perfect. And you get your rubber mallet, mate, and you twat it over the head again. You go bang like that. Got another male duckling there, and that's how you're gonna collect them, Cathy. That's how you're gonna collect all of your, for want of a better term, prey in this circumstance. And then what we're gonna do, Cath, hope you don't mind me calling you Cath, getting a bit familiar there. You're on to the next bit, Cath. So now you've got to store them somewhere. So obviously you're gonna wanna put them somewhere reasonably safe. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get yourself a few ice packs. You go down to Tesco or something, or whatever it's called over in Ireland, I don't know what they use of. I don't know what any of your shops over there are called. But maybe you got a corner shop with a freezer. Maybe they sell bags of ice, or them, you know, plastic carrier bags. You know, the fucking sandwich bags with little squares you fill with tap water. Maybe they got some of them. You fill a few of them up, and then you're gonna go to Argos, if that exists there, or wherever, you know, and you're gonna buy yourself a little in-floor safe, Cathy. That's what you're gonna do, and you're gonna get yourself a little ice box as well, a little cooler, you know, and you're gonna use the cooler to keep them in there for now. But then you put them in the floor safe eventually with these ice packs once the ice is frozen, and then you store them in there. And then what you're gonna do is you got to skin them when the time comes. So the best way to do that, I've found, is you're going to buy a pack of rockets, you know, the fireworks. You're going to staple a bit of string to the rocket, the wood on the rocket, and then you're going to staple to the skins of these male ducklings that you've caved the heads in with this rubber mallet. And then you're going to wait for bonfire night. Don't know if you lot celebrate bonfire night. I don't know if that's just a thing in England and Scotland and Wales, but let's imagine you do have bonfire night at Guy Fawkes night. You're gonna wait for that. That's why you got the in-floor safe and then packs of ice cube bags. You know, you gotta wait. So you don't want to draw suspicion, Cathy. You don't want people being suspicious, being like, are they skinning ducklings over there? You know what I mean? You want to keep them on the toes, Cathy. And then what you're gonna do, mate, is once you've stapled this bit of string to the little bit of the skin of duckling, you just light a rocket, mate, and it rips the skin off for you. And then you got the fun part, right? You got to go and find these rockets now. You got to go and find out where they landed. But you can get around that, you know, because what you could do is you could tie another bit of string and chip into the bit of wood at the bottom, loop a little bit of string around it, and then let that go off on a spool, mate. So like this, see? That would be connected, and then that's just going to spin away. And then you just follow the string, mate. Follow the string back to the rocket, and then you'll find your little bit of skin on the end of this rocket, mate. And then you've got your skin, and then you're going to want to clean it off, scrape it off, you know, best you can. And then you're going to stuff it, mate. And that's how you're going to get into taxidermy, mate. You know, that's how I reckon you should get into taxidermy. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you how to actually get into taxidermy, because, you know, like a plasterer doesn't teach people how to fix holes in the walls, does he? Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna get about teaching people how to do my profession. You know, you don't get chefs unless they're like TV chefs, and our TV chefs real chefs. Do you know what I mean? You don't get them teaching people how to cook their meals. Do you know what I mean? It's very, very unusual, isn't it? You don't really get, you know, bus drivers, mate. Bus drivers don't be like, oh, you know what? You could pay £3 for the bus, but I've got myself a van. Hop in my van and I'll take you there. Do you know what I mean? They don't do it, do they, Cathy? So, you know, take what I've said with a pinch of salt. He's also told me to do this. This isn't just, you know, Sean wants me to tell you how to get into taxidermy. That's not how I got into taxidermy. I didn't get started off with a rubber mallet, you know. I worked my way up to the rubber mallet, you know. I'm hoping to get my sledgehammer badge soon. You know, you've got to do a couple more events, he calls it. You know, Randy Gary, he's the guy that taught me, you know, and he says I've got to do a few more events, and then I'll move up to my sledgehammer. And with the sledgehammer, you know, whoa, move on to dogs and that. Then, you know, it's the same method. The same method applies. Bigger trap, much bigger trap, bigger tits as well to attract the male dogs. That's one of the reasons, apparently, Randy Gary tells me, that's one of the reasons why there's not as many stray dogs on estates anymore, you know. He gets about decapitating dogs and putting them on mannequins and giving them big fake tits to try and lure more in. And then he caves their heads in with sledgehammers. So he says. He might be full of shit, though, you know. He might just be a liar. You never know, do you? Anyway, I hope this has taught you something, Kath. I'll see you in a bit, mate.